Hello everybody, I'm Paul.
And I'm Andrew.
And welcome back to the Fan Voice. We are on our 11th episode, and I would say this is kind of an awkward week for our news and subjects and stuff.
It kind of is, so this might be a slightly short one. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But we're kind of in the middle of events.
Yeah.
Because we have, obviously, Phoenix Comic-Con, as you're listening to this, just happened.
Yep.
So our next couple episodes are going to be about Phoenix Comic-Con, E3, some stuff like that.
And of course the Smash at Best Buy.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course the Smash at Best Buy.
So we're on the eve of a massive amount of news. So
yeah.
But tonight we do have an interesting topic. Just getting back from Phoenix Comic-Con, we're talking... Oh, and the beginning of the new season of Heroes of Cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight we're going to be talking about what we think the show Heroes of Cosplay should be. And, or just a cosplay show in general.
Yeah.
What should be important in that show, and what should it emphasize in our world of cosplay kind of thing. So, that's going to be our main topic tonight, but we got a number of shout-outs for you.
Yes.
Should we just go down the list?
Yeah, let's go right into it. So, Melissa was actually talking about the Smash Invitational. She said, "It's so crazy awesome that I went to high school with one of them. Lilo, that's who I'll be rooting for." And that's really awesome, because that is who, I believe she is in Tempe, was her hometown, listed on the bio on Nintendo's site. And she was the one that wrote the great article called Women in Smash. And it was totally awesome, and then they picked her for the Smash Invitational, which is freaking awesome.
Yeah, she'll be a great representative.
Yeah, so I'm excited for her, and if I wasn't already rooting for Pew Pew You, I would be rooting for you, but you're second, so... Yeah.
Giving some local love.
Yeah, exactly, local.
Which is awesome.
Go local people.
And then, more recently, I posted an article about what cosplays you would want to see at Phoenix Comic-Con, kind of the dream cosplays of sorts. And we all have them, those rare cosplays that no one seems to dress up as, but we're like, why? They're so amazing. Why doesn't anyone try this? So Melissa Hernandez also commented on that, saying she would love to see Lysandre from Pokemon X and Y.
Okay.
Or Getsis, that's from Black and White, the main villain.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And or I'd really like to see some more of the grunt bosses, which
would actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're always seeing the grunts, which is really cool to see in a team. But the higher ups, it's not as common of a sight. You know? And I think there should always be a leader to these grunts.
Yeah, and I think it would also be cool to have some of the gym leaders.
Oh, yeah,
I never
absolutely.
see gym leader cosplay.
Yeah, if you count Misty.
Well, true. That's a good point. So then I always see gym leader cosplay. Yeah. Because I always see Misty cosplay.
Actually, I think out of the Pokemon series, one thing that I would really like to see if you were thinking about the human characters would be the Kanto Elite Four.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Lance, Bruno, Agatha, kind of thing. I'd love to see an Agatha, but I haven't seen very many old ladies cosplay.
Yeah, I haven't seen like any of that. Really.
No,
now that I'm thinking about it, I don't see a lot of Pokemon cosplay. So.
Besides the Pikachu.
Well.
Stuff like that.
Obviously.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be a great one.
Yeah.
Okay, so for our next shout-outs, this post came from an article from actually Heroes of Cosplay, saying how the first episode was really a redemption from the first season. I talked to you about how like they really just tore apart this like this whole franchise and just gave cosplay itself a terrible name, just making it like super dramatic and
yeah.
not about the costumes or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And the first episode of this really seemed to shed a lot of that, and we had some commenters on that. Shout out to Carlin Herring. Thank goodness they fixed that. I was disappointed by the first season. I follow a bunch of them on Instagram, and they are friends. The show made them seem like rivals, so I knew how fake it was. Looking forward to a better representation of pro cosplay.
So yeah, that's exactly what my thing was, is it seemed very fake. It seemed like these people
Absolutely.
knew each other already.
Yeah.
And somehow they're just fabricating a bunch of, like, they're just
Absolutely. The
being assholes to
the
each
drama
other.
was just like skyrocketed, and of course it totally seemed fake and unreal, and
Yeah, so I can totally understand that. It really sucks.
it must be
honestly.
so painful.
It has to be.
For
Yeah.
you to like rip apart a friend
Yeah.
without having a choice
Yeah.
on national television.
It's ridiculous. So
It's like, are you serious, people?
yeah.
So and then one more, a shout out to Amy Maurer. I've only seen 2 episodes, but I probably would be more interested in watching if they actually went into detail about how they make the costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Project One Runway, I guess.
Yeah, and so we're gonna get into this later, but I would agree with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's my main problem with this show.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's fixed in the second season, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
later.
definitely. Again, first season, it's just like, oh, look at these awesome costumes for 2 seconds, and now look at everyone being like divas for 50 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So, God, that really sucks. But yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about that comic.
Yeah.
Especially the Project Runway part, because I have a whole thing about what I think a good idea for a cosplay show.
Sure, absolutely. Do you want to... So that's all our shout-outs. Thank you, everybody, for like those wonderful comments.
Yeah, thanks, guys. You rule.
Yes. Do you want to jump into news?
Yes, I do want to jump into news.
All right.
So, Anime Expo released today, and this was really awesome, actually, that they're going to have a... Oh, Paul's text message noise. It happens. Anyway, Anime Expo today were released that they're going to have a replay. What's called the Replay Concert. And the Replay Concert is it's Replay Symphony of Heroes, and I guess it's a touring concert with video game music. And they're going to have this come to Anime Expo and play a show.
Yeah.
Which is so awesome, but it's unfortunately on Sunday.
Why did they pick Sunday for such a grand event? Sunday, like, probably late at night kind of thing, you know?
They have a tour schedule, like a pretty tight one I was looking at, but still, I was kind of frustrated that it's like, everybody's going to be leaving on Sunday.
I feel like this would be higher priority.
Yeah, and if it's in the afternoon, then it might still be a possibility for a lot of people to go.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not, if it's at night, a lot of
everyone's
people are
leaving. Everyone has to get back to work and stuff like that.
That's the thing, is you can take 2 days off of work for Thursday and Friday, but it's really hard to take, like, the next Monday.
Monday on top of that?
Yeah, it's really awkward.
It's insanity.
So, anyway, it's kind of unfortunate but it sounds really awesome.
Yeah.
And they have special guest performers, including a Japanese cellist and a pretty famous pianist. And they're going to come and play with the... 72-piece orchestra.
Oh, baby.
Which is awesome. It's got, like, Kingdom Hearts music. Let's see. Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Mass Effect, Bioshock, Portal. That sounds awesome.
One of my greatest dreams, it's basically on my bucket list, is to hear Hikari Orchestra live.
Yeah.
Being such huge Kingdom Hearts fans.
Yeah.
That piece has haunted me in the best way.
Yeah,
you know?
I would really love to see this. It's just kind of unfortunate that it's on Sunday.
Seriously.
We'll have to see what happens, though. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd be kind of upset if I missed it, but hey.
What are you going to do? Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed, exactly. And another thing happening at Anime Expo just more things happening at Anime Expo.
I think in this very last month, we're gonna
Yeah.
get news just absolutely poured down on us.
It's definitely,
and it's gonna be amazing.
It's definitely continuing to pour out day after day.
Yeah.
So which is really awesome. But they have a pretty high-profile guest of honor coming this year at Anime Expo, and that's Gen Urobuchi, who wrote things like Fate Zero, Madoka Magica, Psycho Pass, and that's pretty incredible. And Gargantia as well, Frontiers Planet Gargantia. So pretty incredible actually that he's coming, because I don't think he's been to an Anime Expo.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. I am super fucking excited.
This is your number one guy.
I'm about halfway through Psycho Pass, and it's amazing right now. I love his writing style.
Yeah.
And Madoka Magica is like top 3 of anime all time for me. And I loved Gargantia, and I don't know, it's awesome. It's awesome that he's coming.
And he's doing signings, right?
And he's doing signings, which is really exciting as well. So he'll have 2 panels, I think, and he's doing signings.
You know what?
So he'll be there in full force.
Once you get your signing, I can't wait to see you look exactly how I did last year.
With Makoto Shinkai?
With Makoto Shinkai.
Yep. I will probably look exactly like that. I'll just have the biggest fucking smile on my face the entire day.
Basically, last year, Makoto Shinkai came and I got him to sign my 5 centimeters per second. Yep. And I was like writhing in joy the whole day to ridiculous measures. But oh my gosh, it was so worth it. So yes, I'm very excited.
Yeah, Andrew. I'm excited too. So I'm just really excited that they have him coming, and then he agreed to come and do panels and
absolutely. And you know, it's really uplifting to see so many high profile people filling more and more into the Anime Expo.
Yes,
you know?
I totally agree.
It's definitely following along the same lines as Phoenix Comic-Con is something that's becoming huge. Anime Expo was always kind of huge, but even more so, more people are recognizing it higher into the industry, you know?
Yeah.
So that's really encouraging to see, and I look forward to, like, more people like that showing up there.
Me too.
Like, meet and greet, you know?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really, really looking forward to it. So, I mean, guest of honors have been really high profile. Inafune is coming this year. Huge.
Yeah.
And now
and all of the new series that's premiering there.
It's really
incredible.
Cool. Yeah. So, I mean, Anime Expo's really doing good.
Yeah.
With their guests of honors and their showings and everything. I think this is the strongest year I've seen.
Seriously.
I'm going to be seeing Keiji Inafune if he has a panel. I'm going to be watching Terror in Resonance.
Oh yeah,
Watanabe
absolutely.
Anime. I'll try to catch Sword Art Online season 2 because I'm way optimistic. I'm too optimistic about that season, if you want to know the truth. But I'm still
it's worth a watch.
It's worth a watch. Exactly.
Yeah.
And now Urobuchi's coming. I mean, it's just they're doing a really good job. So I'm really looking forward to this year.
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be really good for guests.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Okay, so last piece of news we have is the PS4 and PS Vita bundle. So this is like a year in the making, at least. Ever since they announced the PS4, then they started hinting that it could do things with the PS Vita, which is their handheld system.
Yep.
It's remote play. So you can literally play anything as long as your PS4 is on. You can play it anywhere. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool.
It is pretty cool.
So when's the bundle coming? Didn't come and it hasn't yet. For almost 6 months, the PS4's been out. So it doesn't make any sense to me that they didn't have it before.
You don't think so?
No, because I don't get why tacking $100 on and bundling a Vita to sell more Vita is not just an automatic business decision.
Well, I mean, for the time being, I feel like they were definitely looking to undercut Xbox. I think for the time, I think that was a huge upsell for them.
No, and that's a really good point. And I'm not just talking about you can still undercut Xbox, sell the PS4 by itself. But having a bundle available for people is actually a pretty big draw.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like they kind of missed out on that a little bit. Like, they missed out on the chance to be like, well, we're gonna bundle it, and the people that's a draw for, that can be a draw for them. And I really do think they've missed out on the last couple months. Now, the other thing about this is there hasn't been many games for the Vita and PS4 functionality until now.
Yeah.
And now there's a lot more games coming out with that.
So maybe they needed more time for that.
They might have needed more time.
Compilation of that.
So, I mean, it's been leaked. It isn't officially announced by Sony yet, but it's basically announced.
Yeah.
Amazon and Best Buy both leaked it. So it's probably going to be available Christmas season.
Right.
And I think that's a pretty big draw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's really cool technology.
Yeah.
What they have. I want to see them use it. It's like the Kinect. That could be cool technology if you actually push people to make stuff with it.
Yeah, like real
games. Yeah, like actually go out and be like, no, it's not a gimmick, it's an actual thing. Here's how you can use it. But they don't do that. They instead push shovelware.
Yeah.
And
now, like, what is it? Xbox's Kinect is very close to dying.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and they're making a Kinectless bundle now. With the Xbox One, I'm like, all right, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so
sure.
I mean, yeah. So anyway, with the PS Vita, it makes a lot of sense that they're bundling it, and I'm just surprised that they haven't done that before.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm optimistic about this one.
Yeah.
And that might be something I look into. The other good thing about this is we may see a price drop too. I mean, that's
in
not
the PS4 altogether. You're thinking?
Yeah, and I if that happens, I think it's the Xbox One nail in the coffin, in my opinion. And I could see them doing it after a year. I really can. Because they want to undercut them as much as possible. So they'll release that Vita bundle. I don't know. We may see a price drop. That would be really awesome.
It would be. Because I'm looking to get it as cheap as possible before Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really thinking a price drop of $50 isn't out of the realm of possibility. We'll see what happens. I mean, it could.
Later.
It's definitely I'm definitely making a call. That's not it's not like it has to happen. It's like definitely. Yeah. But anyway, I think there's a small possibility. So
definitely. Okay, so should we move on to our main topic?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so how do we begin this? Well, I guess we'll talk about just the beginnings of Heroes of Cosplay. It premiered last fall, which received a huge amount of hype.
Yes.
This was basic. Well, I considered it a revolution in our our culture kind of thing, you know, for cosplay to be on a network television show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was really excited and hoping to see something great, but all hopes were basically dashed with the first season.
Unfortunate. With the first episode, really.
Oh, my.
Because I think it's the first episode where they go to the one in Seattle. And Jessica Ningri's there. Is that the first season?
Yep.
It's first episode?
I don't know if it's the first. I don't think it's the first episode, but yeah, there was that one girl who tried to do sexy cosplay or whatever, and it turned out to be a huge bust.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, so many things wrong with the first season.
Yeah, I guess we could start talking about the first season.
Yeah, everything that was wrong with it. Okay, so we already talked about that. There was a massive amount of drama and really, really fake drama at that took the forefront of the show.
Yeah, it just, the worst thing to me is that the first episode comes on, it's talking to the guy who builds, like, the armors.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I really like building these armors. And I'm like, wow, this is going to be a really cool show. And then it cuts immediately to, I think, Yaya Han, who's just sitting with three girls, and they're talking about how all he does is make armor and nothing else. And I think that was the first episode. Maybe. I don't remember. Don't quote me on it.
The one thing I remember from the first episode was the introduction of one of the worst characters on the show that did not continue on this
new season.
On this new season. I don't know. I can see Sci-Fi just like totally screwing up her image kind of thing, but basically in the show she projected herself as the one who waited the last minute for everything and made her boyfriend do pretty much everything and not give him credit.
Who was this again?
I can't remember her name.
Okay,
But
it's starting to sound a little familiar.
Yeah. She did the Tron dress.
I remember her.
Yeah.
And once again, it's fabricated drama.
Absolutely.
And it's terrible too because they're sitting there at one point in the first season and they're all having a conversation about if you can cosplay a character you don't have a relation to or you don't look like or you don't have the right body type for.
Yeah.
And there's one girl who's arguing, yeah, you can do whatever you want. Cosplay is supposed to be fun.
Yeah. But she was the only one, and everybody else was just like, no, you have to look like this. Blah, 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 blah.
That's the thing, is everybody else is like, well, alright, if you have too big of arms, it's not gonna work. And it's like, what? Like, wait, what just happened?
Fundamentally, I don't want to say these people showed, but the writers of this show showed that they have no idea what this culture is about.
Well, it's weird too because it's like, so apparently cosplay culture is a bunch of drama? I'm like, all right, here's the thing. I think any group of people that gets big enough is going to have drama. I think it's unavoidable.
That's true.
But that's your main draw?
No.
Is that all of these people... No, it's not at all. Your main draw is that all these people are getting together and they're talking about their nerdy and geeky interests.
Yeah.
And it's totally safe for them.
The expression of their passions as well as their skills in craft and sewing and stuff like that.
That's the thing, is like cosplay is completely unhindered. Like you have a group of people who's a support group.
Exactly.
Like I like to dress up as fictional characters. Most people in the world are going to go, whatever.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
either make fun of you for it or completely ignore you. But then you have a group of people that care and act like a support group.
Yeah.
And then Heroes of Cosplay...
This show tears that down further where it's like, oh drama? No, we're not going to support you if you're not a model or something like that.
That bothers me so much. Well, you're not professional. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Is this real right now? I got so angry at that.
Yeah,
they kept talking about that.
No.
What, you've never had a professional gig? No. I like to dress up, have fun, and go to cons and participate in competitions. Yeah. That's what I do.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, I'm not going to stand in a booth for 12 hours a day and be a model.
No.
Why is there drama here? That shouldn't... I just don't think that exists. I don't think that's there in real life.
No, the producers were... I just can't get over how dumb they were. Where it's like, okay, you basically made this show stupid like something like Jersey Shore or something like that to an audience that specifically has tried to run away from anything like that in their lives. And they wanted something sincere.
Yeah, and once again, it's about... Unfortunately, it's about the fact that it has to be mainstream for these TV networks.
Yeah.
And so they brought in a person who used to work on the real world, and he went, well, there's nothing happening here. Drama. We need drama. Because it's a reality show, man. It's like, that's a really, honestly, that's a very old way of thinking.
I hate to keep going back to this, but again, it reminds me of what some big name popular producers do to new and upcoming artists.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
It's a really good point.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point. Like it feels a lot like that.
Yeah.
You have somebody who made their own music and performed their own music and then they get turned into a pop star.
Yeah.
It's what happens
with no depth whatsoever.
Exactly. And it's kind of what happens with it kind of what happened with cosplay as a whole with this show.
Yeah.
Where they were like, well, yeah, it's really cool that you're all like supportive of each other and you're like, that's a really cool costume and you're all, a lot of you are friends but that's not going to sell. So we should just do a bunch of drama. And here's my problem. That doesn't sell either. Drama doesn't sell either. And we know this because there is a select group of people that just watch Jersey Shore or shit, reality TV show shit, right?
Yeah.
And they watch it like 8 hours a day.
Do you think they're gonna come and watch A cosplay show?
This is my problem.
That's not their audience at all.
All of your advertising is like, come look at cool costumes. Come look at cool cosplay. Some kid watching fucking Jersey Shore is gonna be like, yeah, man, drama and that shit. No! No!
Yeah.
He's a Jersey douchebag who watches Jersey Shore and looks up to those people.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? And watches Pawn Stars and Hardcore Pawn and shit like that. Why is he gonna go, yeah, cosplay, and go watch it on the Sci-Fi Channel?
No, absolutely not.
And that's what those producers were going for. That's what the advertising was going for. That's what all of that show was built towards.
Mm-hmm.
Was getting this mainstream reality TV show audience to come watch a show about cosplay. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so frustrating to me.
And, I mean, I don't know. I just find it weird because Sci-Fi Channel, their audience has stayed, like, kind of the same. You'd think they'd have a better understanding of what they enjoy. Yeah, exactly. And what's even more enraging about this is it's not just a bad cosplay show. It's the one cosplay show that's bad. Like, again, I state that this was a really defining moment for our culture where other people would get more like just quote regular, like not too interested in this stuff. People would get a look at this universe for the first time.
Yeah.
And this is the garbage they see.
Yeah.
We get enough crap as it is from people who don't understand kind of thing. And this was just such a painful representation of all that. But you know what? Every single fan of cosplay, I would say just about every single fan of cosplay felt the same rage we did, and they spoke so loud on this issue to the Sci-Fi Channel.
They really did.
About
and
everything that is absolutely wrong with this show.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And I'm glad that they did.
Yeah.
Because, Face Off doesn't have a lot of input or drama beyond just regular, game show types.
They have the beat the clock pressure moments kind of thing. Not like, oh, did you hear what you said about my makeup?
They don't have gossip.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's honestly, it's not Heroes of Cosplay, it's Heroes of Gossip. It's all they do is gossip about each other.
It's something that we've seen and tried to run away from years upon years upon years that is somehow populating TV everywhere.
Yeah, and it seriously is. And it's really unfortunate that that's what the show was, the first season of this show. Now, I have not seen the second season.
Mm-hmm.
And I should clarify, I have seen probably half of the first season. I stopped watching.
I was desperate for glimmers of hope.
Yeah.
So I went through the whole thing.
I don't blame you.
You know?
But I heard the second season is better?
Yes. So, at this point, there have been 2 episodes that have come out so far. The first episode was really great. It followed the general same format of the show where basically it started out with introducing the people, and there were a lot of old people from the first season. Yeah. Minus the most annoying ones.
Okay. Solid start.
Yes, yes. And so the routine was basically first half of the show they find their cosplays, start building them kind of thing.
Okay.
And then second half is the masquerade or tournament, whatever they go to kind of thing. So, so it goes through the first part and they're just making their costumes. Not without drama or anything like that or weird attitudes from anyone. There were even with the people kept on, they were kind of annoying, but their whole demeanor has changed in this, where obviously we can see it's the writer's change of heart kind of thing. Yeah. Change of heart, more so people would stop screaming at them.
I think they're new.
Good job, fans. Good job.
Yeah, seriously.
This is thanks to you. But anyway, so it's going through that building process without any of the drama or gossip or anything. They're just having fun, showing bits and pieces, I think we agree that they should go more into the building thing, but I don't think this show allots the time for it.
Okay.
So like with the more intricacies of the costumes, they show like each step kind of thing, but it's kind of quick because
Yeah.
they're following 2 to 3, like
People.
3 to 4 people at a
Yeah,
time kind of
yeah.
thing. So they have that building process, and then the masquerade part comes on, and even then you can see it's a lighter atmosphere. They go out there with their costumes, and it's not like, oh, dramatic, I hope this person doesn't win, like someone's bad
Yeah.
mouthing me kind of thing. No, they just do their costumes, and they also give a lot of attention to the other cosplayers who aren't in it, which they kind of did before, but again, a lot more positive energy. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the show, none of them won, but it showcased the people who did win, and before they were all like, "Why didn't we win?" Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're like, "Wow, this was an amazing costume, and they really deserved it," kind of thing, and we're really happy to have just been a part of this, and they're just supporting each other, saying how
Wow.
great each other's costumes are, kind of thing.
That's exactly what you wanted in the first season. Like,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
really what people wanted more.
The only thing that kind of returns is a bit of cheesy dialogue here and there. But I'm
God.
I'm okay with
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
It's not something bad, but just like if you're a fan of the Sci-Fi Channel, I think you can have a
That's
tolerance
really good point.
for a little
It's like-
bit of cheesy dialogue.
It's like B-movie sci-fi.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
But yeah, no negative energy in that first episode.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And in the second episode, it kind of followed that, but it there wasn't like bad gossip or anything, but it kind of played a little more on that pressure drama, the same as
Okay.
Face Off as anything.
Oh, okay.
Because like it was a little more of like, oh man, we're so busy, we got to get this done, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah, and something's not working here, and like, like it is a little dramatic, but that's something that actually happens in the cosplay universe,
that's
where
true.
someone is rushing something and it's like, oh no, a last minute fix kind of thing. It's like, talk to your cosplay friends and they'll be like, yeah, I was just rushing to get this finished kind of thing, but look how awesome it is kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when the masquerade part came on again, it was the same thing,
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I quick fixed this, or I didn't get this to work, but I had another plan, and it was really cool kind of thing. It was fun,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
That's a really good start
yeah,
to the season.
definitely. So I think they've definitely taken a good listen to their fans and have really taken a step to understand them better and what they want, kind of thing.
It sounds like that, and I'm really glad. I hope they don't just go back to the drama.
No,
I
hope not either.
Yeah, I hope they keep it more. Because I'd like to see conversations between these people, but the conversations from the first season are just terrible.
Yeah, we haven't seen any conversations yet. It's mostly been them, like working to build their own stuff so far.
Okay.
There haven't been any meetups yet. But after the whole masquerade, they just all chat with each other. It's not like a listen-in conversation, but it's more like, oh, the ending music is rolling, and you can see they're talking about something, having fun kind of thing. But not anything too specific yet.
Yeah. I just really hope that they stick with that, with the new kind of format that they're going with.
Yeah, absolutely.
their new kind of feeling sort of that they're going with this season.
And a couple other points. Looks like they have a higher budget this year.
Okay.
Just a tad.
Okay.
I can see it in like the interview parts that in the first season.
Yeah.
They looked really home movie-ish kind of, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the perfect way to explain it. It looks like a home movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely looked a little like, ooh, you don't have good camera equipment. You don't have like anything.
You're not giving anything to this show.
Yeah.
And one other thing, I feel like there in the past couple episodes there were more iconic characters, or at least iconic characters to me.
Okay.
In the first episode, 3 girls did a Pokemon X and Y cosplay, with
Oh.
the girl trainer, a Fennekin, and then the legendary
Oh, wow.
Evital.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Y-Bird.
Wow.
Which, oh my gosh, the cosplay for that was so cool. So she basically had this like silverish cloak thing with the red and black eye makeup and stuff, and then these gigantic foam wings attached to the back of her.
That's awesome.
Kind of thing. It looked absolutely incredible.
That is so cool.
And then one of the guys did Mega Man.
Nice.
Yeah, which was also pretty cool. And another thing I'm really, really excited for that they keep previewing this, but I'm pretty sure it's in this next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is going to cosplay Black War Greymon from Digimon.
Really?
Yes. I am flipping my lid, Andrew.
That's
over
amazing.
This. Yes. I think it's absolutely awesome that they pay ode to Digimon, since it's constantly being overshadowed by Pokemon, even though it's an amazing anime. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
That's actually really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I was just going to say, I felt like in the first season they didn't do that because of like licensing or copyright or
You know what? I think so too, because a lot of the cosplays seemed really, really offbeat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Did you see the one where two of the girls did the Meme Cats musical?
Yeah.
That was the weirdest thing I have ever seen, and I did not get that at all.
I'm kind of like, maybe that's why they shied away from that from the first season, because they were worried about it.
I can definitely see that.
But really, you don't have to worry about it. I mean, it's not like... I don't know, I feel like you're not going to get sued for putting that on TV.
The only one I think of is, like, maybe Nintendo. They're always kind of weird with their stuff.
Shit, that's a really good point, actually.
But they've already done Pokemon, so...
That's true.
I'd say they're in the clear.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that does have something to do with it, but... yeah, I like the Mega Man one, that's awesome. That they're... And the Digimon and Pokemon. Yeah. I'm really glad they're doing that kind of stuff. Because, I agreed. In the first season, I'm like, what are all you people doing?
Yeah.
It just felt really weird to me. There was a lot of very obscure characters.
Yeah, definitely.
Or like they do something for a franchise, but it'd be really obscure.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It was just... Yeah,
in episode 2, they did the Card Girl from Persona 4.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to remember her name.
And then a League of Legends character as well.
Nice.
So... definitely looking towards more iconic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because like League of Legends, they didn't do. I don't think there was a League of Legends costume in the first season.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, that's really glad. I'm really glad they're doing that.
Yeah,
because that honestly it makes things more interesting. If you want to know the truth, like I appreciate people doing these obscure characters.
It makes the people more invested and able to relate to the show, and that is one of the key elements of cosplay. Is the fact that you can bond to someone so quickly.
Yeah, because you know... Like,
only on a visual level. Yeah. It's like, you see someone cosplay something that you love, you're like, oh, they're a fan of that. This guy is cool, kind of thing.
Exactly.
I could be this person's friend. Which is what I'm feeling with, like, the Black War Greymon guy. It's like, I gotta know this guy. I gotta follow him. Guy, girl, whoever's doing it. Oh my gosh. I'm so ready for the next episode. But yeah, that's one of the key elements of cosplay, which makes it so great. Among many other things, is like, one thing I always like to say about cosplay is, what it is to me, it is a visual expression of our inspirations. And it's it's the glue that holds us together in a really shy culture for most people.
Yeah.
You know, and it helps us break out of our comfort zone just to see something relatable on a visual level, kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. All right, so let's talk a little bit about... I mean, it sounds like season 2... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, you want to talk about just generally what a cosplay show should be.
I mean, obviously season 2 is already like kind of what we want it to be.
It's a lot better than season 1.
It's a lot better than season 1. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely true. But what do we want it? What do we want a cosplay show to be? I guess.
How about you go first?
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a good start. If a cosplay show is going to be like this, where it's less of a focus on competition and more on a focus of lives, I'm glad that there's less drama and more just seeing what they do. I agree that there should be more of like a watching how the costumes are built, maybe a little bit, and less of like the competition. But I like the fact that they go to a competition in every episode.
Yeah,
and I think that's fine.
It's still pretty competition geared. I would say
pretty competition geared, and
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I can. Now, for me personally, though, and this is something that Amy brought up earlier in our shout out, she said kind of like Project Runway. So, that's going to bring up a lot of connotations for people like, no, don't do anything like Project Runway. And I don't blame you at all. Because Project Runway is very forced drama. They bring in people who they know are going to clash, they have huge problems with, and then there's a bunch of drama throughout the show.
Uh-huh.
But I like the format of Project Runway.
Would you say it's kind of the same way as Face Off in the structure of the show?
Yeah.
That competition reality
Yes.
kind of thing. Which I kind of enjoy that formula too. Honestly.
I enjoy it occasionally because I'm like, you know what? I can at least appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like, we're in a competition, you want to win. That's more interesting to me sometimes than there's just a bunch of drama.
Yeah.
We're all stuck in a house together. Right? Like, stuff like that.
Yeah, it has those moments, but at the same time, it's much, much more focused on the creations.
Yeah.
Because, like, these shows like Project Runway, Face Off, I would say it's more of a... I don't know, sometimes it can be half and half, but I would say most of the time it's more of a 45 to 15 minute, like with the showcasing versus the creation.
Yeah.
Whereas Heroes of Cosplay is 30-30.
Okay.
Kind of.
So, like, the competition is 30 minutes.
Yeah,
but
the making is 30 minutes,
right,
kind of thing.
But the making in the competition shows is like 45 minutes. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that, which is why I think a cosplay version of like Face Off would actually be very good.
Where it's like strict competition.
Yes.
Privately.
Yes.
Not with just like society. I'm kind of split on that, you know, because again, we say cosplay has so much to do with community, you know.
And that's true. And and you have a bunch of cutthroat people. It brings in a little bit of a weird aspect.
Yeah, and they've definitely made a step in the right direction, like bringing more positive energy towards the Heroes of Cosplay's competition.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, seeing all these other people's great costumes and how well they've worked on them and everything like that, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I totally get that, but I don't know. I feel like I would really like to see competition, like a cosplay competition, and I think it lends itself really well. I mean, we already have a makeup one, and we have Project Runway. So
they're definitely experimenting with this formula like crazy because they also just had that Jim Henson Creature Shop thing. Which was pretty much Face Off, but with puppets.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
And so I feel like,
and I just want to point out one thing. There was a creature from the Dark Crystal that that someone did in episode 2. I think Sci-Fi totally pushed this one because they had Brian Henson guest star in that episode and help out the girl, which is another cool thing. They're gonna have a lot more like well-known people.
That's actually kind of cool
in the show. Kind of thing.
That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah,
actually.
So continue. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
I mean,
about the formula,
right? I mean, what I like about this, the idea of kind of doing a like a face-off formula style cosplay competition, is that you're gonna get people who are good at all of it, and who are actual like professional, like they make these costumes, and they try to live in the character
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
And that's a very cool idea because in things like Project Runway and Face Off, it's professional oriented.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like with cosplay, it's much more of a personal thing. And that's really interesting
Yeah.
to me. And I feel like a competition could be really good for that. And I mean, you could even do teams.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because
You
like
know?
in those shows all the time, they start with teams because there's a lot of contestants kind
Yeah,
of things.
yeah. So, I mean, I like that idea. I don't know how you would do it where there wouldn't be a lot of drama. That's my main thing.
No, yeah, there would definitely be a lot of, oh, this thing broke at the last second, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun,
Exactly.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like when it's in that really really strict competition
Mhm.
aspect production, I personally get hooked into it.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
I think it's a really addictive formula.
I think it's better than just like a real world style thing.
No, yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, that's why if they're going to go the route of just having people talk about cosplay on a show, I'd rather it be a competition.
Mhm.
Like a strict competition.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if I have to hear fucking these people talk about how you can't cosplay because your arms are too big or whatever,
Yeah,
or your thighs are huge,
yeah.
You're just gossiping and I don't want to hear about it.
Exactly.
I'd rather hear that in a setting where it's like, oh, that character's not going to work. Her thighs are huge. But I don't have time to sit here and talk about it because I have 15 minutes to make a cosplay.
Yeah.
I'd rather have
Shut
that.
up, go away.
Exactly. I'd rather have that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I hope maybe that's something they'll experiment with and maybe it'll be good.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll be interesting to see.
It would be really nice if this isn't just a one-off, you know? They really expand on the horizon of this specific, like, culture element.
Yeah.
You know?
No, totally.
Because, I mean, we're starting to see a lot more design shows and, like, Face Off is something kind of new of its own, but then Creature Shop kind of branched off that a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're starting to see those really designy aspects flesh out, and like you've been talking about, a strict competition style of cosplay would fit right into the sci-fi lineup, in my opinion. Yeah. Absolutely. For me, along with that, just like fleshing out more shows, I kind of like the base Heroes of Cosplay formula, and I would love to see a competition show. Another thing I would really like to see is a show that's a lot more slowed down and almost a biographical like setting towards like an hour and a half special for one cosplayer.
Okay.
Just seeing what they've done, talking about their life, kind of thing. Really more
chronicling
like
them going to conventions or something like that.
A more artsy approach, I guess I could say.
No, I understand that.
Which, I mean, because right now the Heroes of Cosplay show is so fast-paced and dramatic, and I really think viewers should get a chance to step back and enjoy the beauty of this phenomena.
Yeah, I really think it should be like, I really like the word biographical.
Yeah,
because that's like my main problem with the show, and I'm guessing it's not changing. Is that it's still kind of fake. You know? Yeah. It's still kind of hokey. Yeah, like you were saying, cheesy. Mm-hmm. I'd rather just see a biographical, like you were saying, take an hour and focus on a cosplayer. Yeah. Them going to a convention. Yeah. And being a part of a competition. And the competition can be the last 10 minutes. Doesn't even need to be 10 minutes. They don't
need a competition,
in my
opinion.
Exactly. Yeah. They don't even need a competition. If you have to have one, fine. Have it be 5 or 10 minutes. But just focus on one for an entire episode and actually get what they go through and like who they are a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of like, I can't finish my costume in time. And then it goes to the next person, and it's like, oh no, I can't finish my costume in time. Yeah. Because that's what happens every single week with every single cosplayer.
Mm-hmm. True. Very true.
So, I totally agree with you. I think if it's going to be like this, if it's going to be like a more laid-back style, maybe a little bit less focused on competition, then it should be a little bit more like
biography, documentary
Yeah.
kind of style.
More
you know?
documentary style.
Just the simple beauty of cosplay. Why do people cosplay? What do you love about it? How does it connect to you?
That was
world,
one of the things that bothered me in the first season. I don't know if it's better in the second season. But why do they pick these characters?
They hardly explain it.
Yeah,
except for the fact that like it plays on my nostalgia, or I just love this series.
Like Yaya Han at some point said, "Yeah, I really like this cosplay a lot. It's like old Japanese." That's all she said, and I was like, "What the fuck does that even mean?"
And again, I would say it's not their fault because
no, it's not.
The show is
absolutely not.
Way geared towards so many other things that they only have like one line in between the drama, the making, the competition kind of thing,
Totally agree.
The show isn't geared towards any of that, so we can't grab it from this show,
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd rather see, them sit down with somebody and, like, get a 5-minute explanation out of them why they're actually doing this character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, I mean, you don't just choose a character and are like, yeah, I guess I'll do him, he looks cool. I don't think most people do that. I think most people see something and they go, that was awesome. That resonates with me in some way.
Exactly.
And I want to cosplay it.
Yeah, there's so many things there's so many reasons you can cosplay. It's like, you can really relate to the character, or you just loved the show so much.
Yeah.
And, I mean, looking like a character, I mean...
Yeah.
That can also be cool too, but I mean it's not like an absolute must or anything like that. It's about what the character means to you.
Yeah.
And that's where all of our connections intersect with this community,
Mm-hmm.
So we can share our interests and share our loves for shows, for characters, etc., etc. And one more time I'll say it. To me, cosplay is an external inspiration. An external expression of our inspiration.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a mouthful, but I like to say it. And another thing personally that I don't know, I kind of did this by accident, but along with shows that inspired me, one thing I really like to do now is to bring out the unsung heroes.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like
shows that aren't popular or maybe are older, forgotten, kind of thing.
Okay.
Like you've seen my cosplays; they're not.
Yeah.
They're never really common at all.
Yeah. Well, Spike is for sure,
but he's getting older too.
Well, yeah, but he is iconic, like to a T. He is iconic. So I mean, everybody knows who Spike is. So I mean, I
don't know with this current generation.
Well, okay, I do. I think everybody knows who Spike is, personally.
I'm not sure if everyone does, but I think everyone should.
Well, yeah, that's probably true.
So I totally agree with that. But probably a better example would be Cyborg 009.
Yeah, that's definitely one that's a little more obscure.
Yeah, even though it was made at the same time as Astro Boy and has had 2 remakes in the shows, people are already forgetting about that. But it's not at the point where it's ancient history.
Mm-hmm.
It's at that point where it's like, because that show was on Toonami, people see me and they're like, okay, this is on the tip of my tongue. Who are you?
Yeah,
and at the time, it really annoyed me because like nobody was recognizing me, even though I have this like awesome costume. I'm like, come on, people. But then after I tell them, they say like afterwards, wow, this was a really cool show. Thank you for reminding me of it. I gotta go watch this again.
Yep.
Kind of thing, And I really like to bring the attention to the heroes that are of a past time and maybe forgotten, or heroes that aren't recognized in a current time. Like maybe a current one would be Ginkgo.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Or Cashern is another. That's
Cashern.
A big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Not many people know of Cashern, for sure.
Such a good hit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's some of the things I love about cosplay,
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that was a good discussion.
Yeah. Yeah.
About Heroes of Cosplay. I hope to watch it pretty soon to get an idea about the new season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully it's good. I think it will be.
I think
Hopefully it
I think
continues
they're
to be
on
good.
the right track, unless they just like flip their lid and totally regress or something really stupid.
Yeah,
But they seem to be on the right track.
they do.
You know,
They absolutely do.
It's a
You're right.
positive note.
Yeah.
So, I want to hear some comments from you guys.
Yes.
Tell us what you think Heroes of Cosplay needs to do and what a cosplay should be. Or tell us why do you love cosplay?
Mm-hmm.
What makes it great? Blah blah blah, kind of stuff. You know. I know you have ideas.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you do. So you can find us at Twitter at Fanvoice Podcast.
Yep.
Facebook.com/
The Fan Voice Podcast, YouTube.com/ The Fan Voice Podcast, our special email, fan@thefanvoice.com, and our marvelous website,
yes,
thefanvoice.com.
Yes, and you can leave us, you can send us comments on there, on specific news items, or you guys can send us, we have a contact form on there as well.
Yeah.
So you guys can absolutely use that. I feel like we haven't been shouting that out enough. We do have a contact form, so you can go on our site and use it.
Absolutely.
And yeah, start commenting on the site, whatever you want to talk about with the articles that we're posting.
Definitely.
Absolutely as well.
So, and again, everyone who's commented so far, and also everyone who's helped us find some new information here and there. We really, really appreciate that. Both the support and help with finding new stuff. Yeah, shout outs to all of you.
Yes,
you're
absolutely.
great.
All right, so we will see you guys next week with
a crap ton of news, along with a lot of pictures from Phoenix Comic Con and some other special goodies that'll be coming up in the future.
Yeah,
we'll definitely be representing.
Yes, a lot about Phoenix Comic Con and a lot about E3.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. We don't know what our topic yet is going to be. It might be Smash.
Dude,
we might have to have another.
We're going to need like 2 or 3 topics next week.
2 or 3 topics. Yeah, we absolutely
It's going to be insanity, but it's going to be wonderful.
It's going to be awesome.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, tune in next week, and thanks for listening, you guys.
Thank you very much.
You guys are awesome.
See you later.
All right, see ya.